I wasn't online yesterday doing any stocks because I had more important things to do on the farm, and it was my last day home, so I had to get stuff done. So anyhow, let's see what we had going on yesterday and today. Alright, I got 160 bucks. Part of that's from cashing out some stocks. Trying to build up 500 to 1,000 or 5,000 to 10,000 worth of cash. Now I got some money saved up, but not very much, maybe a couple grand. So I'm gonna have to cash out a couple stocks or a few stocks, but I only cash out stuff when they're up. I kind of treat this as a savings account as well as passive income. But I'm really trying to create more passive income than I'm trying to use this as a savings account. So this was down, so we're not going to touch it today. Up 5 cents. Got like $6 in there, so not really going to be able to do much with that. All right, this one's up. Way I don't cash out everything. It's only paying 5% anyway. That was a negative. So long story short, I've said this on the last video. we were trying to get this land in our name so that we could take out an equity line of credit to get the mobile home out of foreclosure, but we're going to end up with a clouded title, so we're not going to be able to do that. So we got to scratch up the funds to get the mobile home out of foreclosure. Basically, we were owner financing, but they ended up scamming us. They took our money but never was paying the bills. Well, not never, rarely was paying the bills. Basically pocketing 90% of the funds. They were only paying just barely enough to keep the racket going. Everything ended up going into foreclosure, so we've been buying everything out of foreclosure. And this ain't their first rodeo. They did this prior to us at least once that we know of, and they did it after us to somebody else. So it's been a nightmare, and we were trying to find a workaround to not have a clouded title, but all the lawyers and the judge, everybody involved, said they've never been in a situation like this, never seen a situation like this, and there's no case law for a situation like this, which doesn't make sense. So we're in a really weird, screwed up situation. But basically what we can do after the statute of limitation, I think that's the right word, then we can go to a quiet title and get that, the cloud removed from the title, and it will be okay. But we gotta wait a year to 5 years. They're not 100% sure. So, but it's not a forever thing. It's not gonna be a clouded title forever. But in the meantime, it's going to mess up our plans. So we have to go a different route. And that route is basically cashing out some of my stocks so I can pay my half of getting the mobile home out of foreclosure, so we own everything free and clear. That being said, we'll own everything free and clear. We'll have like a $300,000 property, paid in full. And after it's all said and done, we probably will only have to pay, I haven't got it all calculated how much we've already got into it, plus how much we're gonna put into it, because we're gonna have to put some more money into it. But all in all, it's gonna be about 25%. That being said, they did a lot of half-assed work on the property, so we're gonna have to pay to get stuff like that fixed. I mean, we've already had to get some of it fixed, but so that's gonna cost us another few $1,000s, but that's to be expected with most properties. So even still, after all the expenses that we've spent and are gonna have to spend to fix their half-ass bullcrap, we still will probably save 70% or whatever, 66%. I'm just kind of guessing right now. But already calculated how much money we've already got in it. And then guesstimated how much money we're going to have to still spend. And basically, we were getting approximately a 50% discount from our negotiated price that we originally negotiated for the property with the scammers. But at that, we already was getting like a 50% discount. So we got another 50% discount on top of the 50% discount. So now we couldn't probably flip the property for $3,300 right now. We could probably flip it for $200. But once we get everything fixed up and cleaned up, because they left the place trashy too. There's garbage everywhere, tools, parts everywhere. We ended up getting a couple flat tires on our lawnmower because of garbage laying around on the property, and we just didn't see it. It was in the weeds or the grass, the high grass. And so, but we ended up going and buying some of those no flat tires, so now we don't got to worry about it. Or never flat tires. So, anyway, BITO and EETH should be paying out here soon. I think those stocks are down though. Yeah. But we got about another month before we're gonna need this money. So I'm just gonna not be reinvesting anything until we have the money for the mobile home, and I'll just be cashing stuff out. But Cash App is the exception. I'm basically buying things that are down so I can kind of break even when it goes back up and just cash it out. Maybe make a little bit of money, but I'm just trying to liquidate all of my Cash App stuff, because I'm going back to using Cash App like I use PayPal. LKQ. basically what I do. Like the last one, percentage was 4.5, so I bought $5 worth. And this one was 4 point something else, but it was under 4.5. $4.09. So I only bought $4 worth. And that's basically how I do my investments. The higher the yield, the more money I put in. The lower the yield, the less money I put in. Because the higher yielding stocks are going to pay me more, so I'm going to put more in them. That being said, if they have a good 5-year growth, then I'll put even more money in. So even if it only pays 1%, but it's got a good 5-year history, then I'll throw in $10 instead of $1. Later, I'll be doing more research, and I might be changing my formula a little bit. UPS. %, almost. Alright, now let's go see what stocks are up. Alright, Dollar General. Oops, wrong button. So I made back the money I reinvested today. Maybe I'll make a little bit more tomorrow. I made like $1, but I got all my money back plus $1 and some change. So, like I said, I'm just trying to get rid of all this in Cash App and just use Cash App as a just use Cash App for like a PayPal. that's it for today.